I is back. Hold on, I'm doing everything with one computer is weird and slow and I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Just chilling for a little bit. Oh. Gonna talk about some nothing for a little while. I just had a shower. Well, I just had a shower. I had a shower like an hour ago. An hour ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, possibly, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. My hair. So again, this is nothing talk until I'm waiting for somebody to show up in the chat. Um, my hair is at a length where it's got two. I've got two options. Like normally, I don't bother with styling my hair or anything like that. It's stupid, in my opinion, to do that. And like I said, at the moment, I'm in a kind of slump where I don't really give a crap about like how my hair looks. But you know, there are moments where I do give a crap, where I have to answer the door or something, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to quickly just do something, put a hat on or something. Um, but yeah, it's like normally in like I do give a little bit of a shit about looking presentable, and yeah, my hair normally doesn't get this long, but when it does get this long, it's like it's got like two modes, and its main like two modes is back like this, in which it doesn't really stay back, but it's like as close as I can get it really. Um, or I just let it just go, just kind of be flat, I guess, like it was last time you guys saw it, which looks a little bit different. It's like more of the forehead is hidden. So yeah, I've only just noticed. Can I see more of my forehead? Am I actually doing the balding thing? Is it happening? Who knows? Genetically, that isn't a thing in my family. Like the men kind of go bald in a tiny spot on the top of the head, and then it just kind of like doesn't do anything until we die. So yeah. Oh god, sorry. Did I get booped? Oh, it's my buddy Ian. Okay. I thought I got booped on Discord then. Yeah. So I see people are watching but not in the chat, and that's okay. I'm not. I don't mind if people are lurking or however you want to call it. I don't know. So yeah, I guess I'll get on with the real talk. So since I was on last, nothing has really happened apart from I talked to the doctor, and because they want to talk to me about my blood test and stuff, because I had to have a blood test so they can see if they can I don't know what that means. Yeah, I had to have a blood test to see if they can change my medication, and it turns out they can't change my medication because my liver is it's got abnormal readings or something. Like, yeah, that's all they could say. So they have to rule out several things before they can actually give me any of my medication changes, which is fine, to be honest, because they're only giving me this medication to cover their asses, so that basically, yeah, like as people may know, I have a weird rare blood condition, which means that my levels, like all of my blood levels for everything, is usually a bit screwy and random. It's kind of set to random. Like I have a hormonal condition that is basically like a hormonal imbalance, which is super good for some things, but super bad for other things. And yeah, it means that my blood levels on everything are usually completely random, and they have to find other ways to test me, which is fine if they actually use those ways to test me, but they seem to just want to keep taking blood until they get the result that they want. That seems to be the case. For example, I'm on medication for diabetes. I don't actually have diabetes. Like like they ran so many tests and found that I don't have diabetes, but I have to have the medication for diabetes in case I have like a diabetic something, like a diabetic attack or whatever. And then they can't be, liable then because they actually gave me diabetic medication. Even though I don't have diabetes. Oh my god. Like, and now it's like this other thing that they're saying that I have, when in fact they know I don't have it, but they want to take lots of blood to make sure that I don't have it. But I bet you for fuck that they are going to give me medication for whatever it is. And it's like, great. Anyway, that's the whole situation. That's the semi serious situation. So I have to, over the holidays, I get to be stabbed lots, and I get to be like have a sound machine blasted at me. I get sound waves blasted at me violently. They want to do an ultrasound on my liver and on my kidneys. Yeah, such fun. Um, and yeah, I mean, like that's just great. That's that's gonna be my holiday season. Yeah, I've also been trying to locate. Apparently, I deleted completely. In the last stream where I was talking about the two options um, for the video database archive thing, and in the last stream, I basically said that there are two options, and one of them is Telegram, and I don't really want to do Telegram, but I will to just have it there and sorted and fine. And the other option is Twitter. And like people keep telling me not to use Twitter, but they keep telling me not to use Twitter for really political reasons, and it's really annoying because it's like, yeah, I get it, but I'm not going there. I'm famously apolitical person. Like, stop it. um, Stop trying to one side me. It's so annoying. Oh, now I have to answer. Oh shit! I have to answer this on this device where the keyboard doesn't always work. I think that worked. There we go. um. Yeah. So yeah, I was trying to find Telegram on my computer, and I don't actually have it on my computer anymore. I'm guessing that the last time that it pissed me off, I just straight up rage quitted on it and mega deleted it from everything. So yeah, it's a thing. I guess I should get on with the reason for this stream, because then I can just rant about things in the open, and hopefully one of my buddies will actually like join us so that I can talk Star Trek, Stargate, whatever, you know. Talk about nerdy things. So everybody is starting or has already disappeared from my friends, from my the space buddies. Basically, there's like a group of like 4 friends, and there's usually one of them is online or in messenger, whatever. Um, Late at night for me, but usually daytime for them because they're usually in America or Canada or something. And like these 4 friends are just, we called the space buddies. We call ourselves the space buddies because we love talking about nerdy shit. I think one of them actually does work for kind of like a NASA, like Canadian space NASA, the Canadian version of NASA or something. Anyway, he's actually a rocket scientist, I think. Probably not a rocket scientist, but he basically works for NASA. He's basically a rocket scientist, whatever. But yeah, we basically talk about nerd shit all the time. You know, two of the 4 of us, basically of the 5 of us, because there's 4 friends and I'm one of them. So that's yeah. Like 2 of us are also part of that kind of like novella thing that I have talked about in previous streams, where essentially novella, the novel, kind of like the continuous space, almost, but not quite, um, RPG kind of thing, where essentially we've created a universe and we've created like storylines and lore for this universe, this sci-fi universe. So yeah, there's like there's crossovers and stuff and how we can use like what we talk about in that universe sometimes and stuff. Um, but yeah, like like they all play video games with each other and stuff. I don't usually play video games with them because I don't like the video games. I'm sorry. I don't like well, I can't play the video games because my computer's usually not good enough. And it probably is good enough. It's just that I'm not already connected that way to be set up for gaming, I guess. You know, like I did have a controller, but then it got wet and it was never seen again. Um, but yeah, the point is that the space buddies are all either busy or they are getting busy, um, uh, because it's the holiday season and they're all going away. Normally I have my own activities to occupy myself and time and stuff to talk about. I don't have to talk about stuff because I'm usually busy with stuff. But like this year, I don't really have a Christmas, so it's like I don't really have things to prepare for. So it's like, what do I do? Um, I really love talking nerdy with my buddies, with the space buddies. I really love talking nerdy with them. It's so irritating that I haven't been able to do it for like a couple of weeks now, and it's like it's so irritating. I actually, I've talked to one or two of them. If you've been on my Discord, you may have noticed I was yelling into space, into the Discord space, yesterday, I think it was, about like the Starfleet captains, because me and one of my space buddies, we were talking about like which of the captains is our favorites. And well, they were talking about their favorites. I don't usually have favorites, but I have to say that I do in this case. And yeah, we were just sharing YouTube clips and stuff with each other about like, oh no, I like this captain because of this reason, and I like this one because of this reason and stuff like that. And it's hilarious. We couldn't find, apart from like one scene, we couldn't find Cisco doing shit. You know, it's like Cisco actually doing a fight, doing actual fighting. It's weird, and he's considered to be the toughest, baddest, like Starfleet captain, and it's like no. Like him actually getting physical with people, it doesn't usually end well. Or if it does, it's more out of like, oh my god, he hit me kind of situation, more than it is um like Cisco actually defeating anybody in hand-to-hand combat kind of situation. It just it feels dumb. He's more intimidating than he is anything, and that's really irritating for me because I was like, yeah, you have a point with Cisco, but no. Oh my god, I'm already starting. Um, whereas, yeah, whereas there's my favorite, and it may come as no surprise, and it has already been pointed out that I'm slightly biased because she's on my favorite class of ship, and that it's Janeway. She's my favorite captain. It's not for those reasons though. It's not for the reason. It's not just because she's on an Intrepid class starship. It's not just because she's in on the best ship class in the fleet. It's not because of that. Like, she's freaking awesome. However, everybody has this weird butthurt thing about her. Like they're incredibly butthurt about like some of the decisions that she made and stuff, and how like my former my my long former best friend, he used to say that she was a traitor and that she should have been court-martialed and stuff like this, and it's like, no, how, why? It's like the reasons that he would give were never satisfactory. It's kind of, yeah. um I'm trying to remember them. I think it has something to do with like with the Borg and species 8472 and all that stuff. And it's like I would think that she would have made up for that, but whatever. um but yeah, it's weird. Even though it's been 30 years since Voyager. Excuse me. Didn't they just have didn't they just have their anniversary? I swear they just had their anniversary. I swear they just had their anniversary. Their 30th anniversary. Don't know why my voice is going like weird tonight. Yeah. Ooh, I wonder if I got cookies inside. Ugh. They could do. Yeah, I think Voyager had its 30th anniversary recently. What was it 1995? So that would mean that it would be 30 years. So yeah. I know that the Next Generation is almost 40 years old. Only because it didn't air in 1987. Like that's the reason why I know that. Like it first aired in 1987. So that's cool. It's so weird to believe. So that didn't make sense. Okay. Yeah. I mean, what's your favorite captain? What's your favorite Starfleet captain? I do really like Pike. I do really like Pike. I just I'm a bit annoyed. Like I'm not fully committed. Like I really do like Strange New Worlds, but I'm not fully committed to that show like I want to be. You know, I'm trying to give it a pass, but it's there's a thing that's happening in Star Trek. There's a thing that's happening in Star Trek that is detracting from my baby. My baby being the Intrepid class starship. Like I'm I'm annoyed at it, and it seems to be it seems to kind of almost started almost kind of like, well, it's not really the start of it, but it's happened like during Strange New Worlds. That's really annoying, and that is um, starships flying in atmospheres. I hate that. I hate that so much, and that's because it's so there's real ramifications for it. And also there's like it's kind of like in Star Wars, the warp smash maneuver, like how that kind of broke Star Wars a little bit, kind of a lot. It's like it's kind of like that. It's an unforgivable sin, and it kind of happened in Star Trek. There's an unforgivable sin in Star Trek where basically ships can just fly in atmospheres. And this used to be like a big deal. Like you shouldn't be able to do this at all. You shouldn't have ships flying in atmospheres. You especially shouldn't have ships be able to just hover in an atmosphere, to just like stay in an atmosphere. Like that is unforgivable. And like there's several reasons, but the one of the main reasons that hurts me personally, even though I shouldn't take it personally, but one of the main reasons why it hurts me personally is the Intrepid class starship, my baby, was special because not only could she fly in an atmosphere, she could hover for a brief amount of time, and she could also land. Like the whole starship can actually hover and land and stay there indefinitely if need be and be fine. No other ship can do this. No other ship can do this. I've lost everybody now. According to my view counter, everybody's fucked off. Whatever. I'll just talk to myself. Jeez. Yeah, like no other ship can do this. It was like a huge deal. It was a big thing in the original series. They were basically like the I think it happened a couple of times where the Enterprise actually entered into the atmosphere of a planet, and it was like it took immense effort to get it out of the atmosphere again. To really push, it had to push everything it had to basically inch its way out of the atmosphere to fly back into space where it belonged, because the ship itself would collapse. Like if it didn't have all of the funky equipment on board that it has, then it would basically start to buckle. The nacelle pylons would start to actually like warp and break, and it would basically it would fall apart. The whole thing would fall apart. The only reason why it didn't break down in those episodes is because they actually have emergency thrusters on the nacelles. They have like dampening fields, structural integrity fields, which were brand new technology back then, like actually in the pylons to actually shore them up to make sure that they don't fall apart. Basically, they're big magnets. They just ramped up the electromagnets so that everything kind of stuck together and held in place really tight. And they also had smart materials that kind of like locked into place, like at the microscopic level, to kind of like strengthen themselves so that they would actually like hold together. Like all of this stuff just so that it didn't fall apart. In Strange New Worlds, in the first episode, she just slowly descends into an atmosphere so that everybody can see her on this one planet. And it's like, neat. I'm not saying that she can't do that, but the thing is that we actually see inside the ship. Everybody should be like, they should be doing the camera shaky trick. Everybody should be acting like it's like taking everything they've got to basically maintain this incredibly low orbit. It's not even an orbit. It's just they are basically flying. They're just hovering. No. No. Oh my god! I recently saw a clip. There's a clip of like well, there's a kind of a program of people using the uh people using the Roddenberry archive to basically like all the ship models and all of that stuff from the Roddenberry archive to actually make new content and new original shorts and stuff, and that's great. And I've seen one of them. I've seen one of these shorts, and it's actually pretty good. It's not great, but they actually did use some of the original actors and stuff. And they've got like a de-aged William Shatner in it, and it's like it's good, but it's not great. It's not like the finest piece of artwork that you've ever seen. It's very clearly them. The whole muteness of his character, because they didn't really have. I don't know if Shatner actually like lent his voice or would let them use like his voice or what it was, but it's nobody says a word in this thing, and that's a cool choice, and I get it, but I kind of wish that there was kind of almost a reason for it, like yeah, like there was like a telepathic link or something. I just wish that like because they all seem to be talking in telepathy, you can tell that words are being said by the expressions on their faces, and not just because of not just through the expressions on their faces. You can tell kind of like they're saying lines in their head, but we can't hear them, and that's okay. But it's annoying. It's annoying for me, you know. It's just um. Like I get it. We're supposed to interpret everything that's being said in this thing, but oh my god, at least have like background people talking in the background or something. But like every fucker is silent in this thing. It's so annoying. There's a new one, and I haven't seen this one, but I've seen clips of it. And what's really irritating about this for me is that they've actually got the Enterprise, like the original Enterprise from the original series, just parked in this in the museum bay at Starfleet headquarters. And when I say parked in the museum bay, I mean it's on the ground at Starfleet headquarters. Starfleet headquarters in San Francisco by the Golden Gate Bridge is the Enterprise. Is just parked like on the ground. Fuck you. Like completely unaided. It's just parked on its on the engineering hull. It's just that the bottom bit. It's just resting on there. Granted, we can't see this part, and there is a bridge going up to like the the docking bay on the side of the saucer section. But the problem is that the saucer section would fall down. That tiny little neck wouldn't be able to support all of that weight. It can't do that. Oh my god. Oh, it hurts. It hurts thinking about it. It's like all of the weight of the source section is being supported by what? The bridge? That bridge that leads up to, the escalator that leads up to the docking bay? It's like, it winds me up. It winds me up. Oh my god, it hurts. The fact that these are basically canon now as well, it just hurts. Um, yeah. This seems to be a trick. This seems to be kind of just a thing that like ships can just do. You know, ever since the JJ films, you know, the JJ verse, isn't the second one? Isn't I think it's the second one where the Enterprise is just it's just underwater. That is an incredibly deep bit of water, by the way. Yeah, it's just like no. I believe the Enterprise can do that. I believe the Enterprise can basically like soft land in water. I believe it could do that because I believe it can actually fly into a gas giant and you basically are in fluid, uh, by the time when you breach the atmosphere of that of a gas giant, you're basically in a fluid, and the deeper you go into that, the more the density of the fluid increases until you are, um, in fact, above the threshold of like liquid water on Earth. So basically, it's like you are like flying through lead. It's flying through molten lead. And I believe the ship can take that. I do actually believe the ship can take that because you have enough momentum. You're continuously going. The shields are up. There's so many different systems to basically keep this working, and you don't fucking stay there. That's the thing. It's like if it stays still, it would be crushed. It would start to fall apart. It will break down. It would become incredibly difficult to get it off of the surface of a gas giant. So to have it actually submerged in water is annoying as fuck. Um, but yeah, ever since then, like ships in Star Wars also hover. That's not a thing they do. Ships in Star Wars don't hover. They're When they're in atmospheres, ships in Star Wars are like planes. They basically can appear like they're hovering, but they are essentially just coming in for a landing. You know, it's it's like Cloud City, for example. Cloud City was engineered to use repulsor lifters, which is their version of anti-gravity generators, basically like um, well, exactly what they sound like. They basically are anti-gravity generators. There's like tons of them on the bottom of that thing. Plus, also, it is actually it's basically a balloon. It's filled with lighter than air, lighter than atmosphere of the planet material. Like it's got huge tanks of these gases and stuff, just like that support it. So that it doesn't sink. So that's the whole point of it. That is like that's its whole deal. You know, there are a bunch of structures have this, and that's cool because they're engineered and they're designed to do this. However, star destroyers are not designed to do this, and yet they keep showing star destroyers doing this. They don't have um, the added infrastructure. The strain on the superstructure would be incredible. And yes, they can do it like they are aircraft. They can hover like they are an atoll aircraft. Like a takeoff and landing from stop aircraft. They can do that, but if you keep your repulsor lifts on for that amount of time that they show star destroyers just hovering above cities and stuff, then soon molten metal is going to start to rain down on that city, and then the entire star destroyer is just going to collapse on top of it. It's just that's what's going to happen. You know, it's like star destroyers are built to land on planets. Star destroyers can actually land on fucking planets. Like they can do that. Just do that. It's like, I get it. Hovering is way cooler than not hovering. I get it, okay? But at the same time, you've got limitations. You have to build limitations. Otherwise, the ship could just do whatever. It's kind of like the Orville. I know I'm jumping around, but that's only because like nobody's actually stopping me. um, but it's kind of like the Orville. Okay, the Orville is the Seth MacFarlane. I think it is. I think it's him. Yeah. It's his TV show. Ugh, it's his space TV show. And I used to like the Orville, but they basically like kept making the ship invincible. It's either invincible or it's incredibly fragile. You know, it's never they never state they never pick a good medium. You know, and that seems to be what they're doing to Star Trek now as well. It's like the ship is basically invincible. Like it went round a black hole, and it's like, yeah, it went in between two stars and channeled the power of these stars through it. And it's like, fuck you. Oh, I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. Like, the Orville basically is indestructible. It's irritating as fuck to me. To me, it's just irritating as fuck. Like, I'm trying not to get it into into spoilers. Hey, Panda Fox. Um, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying not to get into spoilers too much in case anybody does actually want to watch the Orville. But like, I like the stories. It's just that, like I said, it breaks my immersion, I guess, is the term. And that's important to me. I get it's not important to everybody. I understand that. I understand that it's not important to everybody. Immersion isn't everything to everybody. It's a sci-fi movie. Nobody cares, whatever. Sci-fi series. But to me, oh my god, is it important? Oh my god. To me, it's very important. But yeah, in the Orville, the ship crashes on Earth and lands in the deep, 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 deep ocean. So it lands very, very deep in somewhere incredibly deep in the ocean. And they just fly it out. Like, it crashed there a long time ago, and it's been there ever since. For years. And they just fly it out. Bullshit. Like, that would be partially excusable if they basically said to me that, well, if they said on screen that this is going to be incredibly difficult to get the systems working again and stuff like that. I was like, oh, cool. I'm okay with a 2 episode like story about them fixing the systems of the Orville and stuff like that. It's like 20 minutes. It takes them 20 minutes to fix the systems of the Orville on the bottom of the ocean to get it flying again. Yeah. Not one did they show a flooded set. I don't. Once did they show a flooded set? I don't remember them showing a flooded set even. So that's just dumb. The other time that I can think of that really pissed me off the most, the thing that pissed me off the most, is that they fly into a black hole. Not only do they fly into a black hole, but they're inside it. They're inside the event horizon of the black hole. Now, the event horizon is this is basically this barrier. It's like if you cross that, if you get close to that, you're fucked. You're just fucked. Okay. In science, from what we know, is like the whole point of the event horizon is that's the point in which light can't escape. So that's the bit that looks black. That's like the surface of the blackness. You know, the actual black hole itself is way in the middle. It's like this little tiny point right in the middle of that. But around it is this big black bubble of nothing. It just, you can't see past it because light can't escape this point, you know. And as you get further away from this bubble, like certain things basically become more escapable, but matter itself can't really escape past, like, I think it's like 3 or 4 times the, you know, past the event horizon itself. You basically get the matter event horizon after that. So basically starships wouldn't be able to get past the thing that they're hiding in. They use this to hide in, and they seem completely fine. Like we're watching on the bridge as they're looking outside of the black hole, and they're looking at things like, my God, what are these bad guys doing? Because they're in there hiding and stuff like that. And then they're explaining very, very calmly about the whole thing about time dilation and stuff, which is great science. But, oh my God, did they just fly out of it? They just fly out of it. It's like, fuck you. That ship is invincible. So dumb. So yeah, they're kind of doing that with Star Trek, and it's just it's annoying. We know the Enterprise isn't going to blow up because it's a prequel series. We get that. On Strange New Worlds, we understand that that a lot of these characters are safe. You know, it's like that you can bring them really close to danger, but like we can't. We're not really worried about them. So yeah. Oh my God. they, I think they realized that after season 2 of Strange New Worlds, because like season 3 they've stopped doing it so much. But yeah, after season 2, there's all this thing about there's all these things about like, oh my God, Uhura and Spock are trapped on this asteroid. Like, will they make it off by the end of the episode? Yes, they have to. We know they do. They're not going to kill. They're not going to kill Uhura and Spock before they've made the original series stuff and all of that stuff. It's just it's so dumb. That was, I think that's first. I think that's the first season. But yeah, after season 2, somewhere in the middle of season 2, they basically started to not do that, so much. And then season 3, I don't think they've ever done like a life-threatening thing with anybody. So yeah. I did tell you, when I come out of the shower, the beard looks a bit more impressive. It's more impressive in the shower. It's way longer looking in the shower. But yeah. It's an actual Santa beard. Some of it's white. You can actually make out some of the white hairs. So yeah, oh my god. The thing that's annoying with those are the main things that are annoying me with Star Trek right now is that they keep making ships flying atmospheres, and I need them to stop doing that. You know, I'm surprised. I'm actually kind of like I'm happy they didn't do this. I'm happy they didn't do this, but like in Picard, they didn't actually show like a galaxy class kind of in an atmosphere. I'm surprised they didn't do that. I was actually kind of like, oh my god, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. But no. It's only kind of in an atmosphere, sort of. It's in an artificial atmosphere. It's different. So yeah. Have I got more white hairs recently? I'm guessing so. I don't know. I do know that since the last video that I made and now, yeah, like you can even see some of them on my head. Like that's not a lighting effect. Some of my hairs are kind of like silvery gray white. Like yeah, happens. I know my mustache is going grey. Mm. Panda Fox, do you watch Star Trek? I know I've already asked this, but I'm hoping that your answer's changed. Because I'm pretty sure you said you didn't. But still. They really do stick out. Fuck. Why not? It's so much fun. I mean, it's really fun from multiple angles. There's the whole, space opera thing. There's if you like technical shit like me, then actually if you actually like sci-fi stories and stuff, then some of them are pretty good. Some of them are pretty good. Too long and confusing. They explain everything. As they go. They explain everything. Fair enough. Fair enough. But I need to talk to somebody about it. Or I go insane. I go crazy. I ended up talking to myself like here. We don't have to talk about Star Trek. It's just that that's literally like the nerd. That's the nerd talk that I normally talk with my space buddies. I basically talk to them about Star Trek mostly. But yeah, I have got to shoot that. There's a daddy long leg spider that's hopefully not going to move. Can't shoot it when I'm streaming because YouTube don't like that. Roscoe was watching it with me, but then like he took a long break and then we had a moment where he got incredibly negative about stuff, and like at the time I couldn't deal with it. So yeah, Roscoe, by the way, if you're watching this or watching this on playback, I'm sorry, but that's what happened. I just like you did go through a weird patch where like every other thing you said was incredibly negative. Like it wasn't particularly aimed at anybody. It was mostly aimed at yourself. But I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't deal with his negativity and my own internal negativity at the same time. So yeah, but yeah, he was watching it with me, and as far as I know, he got to season 3. I know we got to the end of the Zindi arc. I think we got to the end of the Zindi arc, but that was Enterprise. That was like the first series because we were watching it chronologically. There are 4 seasons. I think there's 4 seasons in Enterprise, and if you want to watch it chronologically, then you have to go through it like this. There are 4 seasons of Enterprise. That's where it begins. Then there is Discovery. If you must watch 5 seasons of Discovery, then go for it. But in my opinion, you're wasting your time. There's like, yeah, there isn't any good. There's no good in it. I can't, there's. I would say that I was about to say that there's Pike is captain of the Discovery at one stage, and like he's good. Everything else, though, is so bad, and I hate it, and I want it to go away, um, forever. And yeah, but if you must, you have to watch Discovery. Then there's Strange New Worlds, and it's got 5 seasons. 3 seasons are currently out. They've still got 2 more seasons to go, I think. Yeah. But yeah, they said that they're going to have like a season finale at the end of the 5th season. So yeah, so there's 5 seasons of that coming up, and then there's the original series. There's only 3 seasons of the original series. If you want to, you can watch the JJ verse movies, the Kelvin timeline movies. Star Trek '07. Is it '07 or '09? I keep forgetting what date that came out. I think it's '09. But yeah, there's 3 of those movies. Um, then there's the there's the original series, kind of like I've already said that. There's the Star Trek animated series from the 70s, 80s, and that's like almost a Hanna-Barbera kind of like thing, if it's not Hanna-Barbera kind of thing. And that's terrible, but it's worth watching. It is awful, but it's worth watching. They've got some really good stories in there, if a little bit incomplete. You know, it's just that you have to deal with a bunch of really obvious time saving measures and money saving measures because like this style of cartooning was really irritating. Lots of close-ups where the camera would be like here, and it would have their eye reaction, but it wouldn't actually show their mouth moving. You know, just so that they could actually like save money. Oh my god, knocking over everything. Just so they could save money on animation and stuff. So there's 2 seasons of that, and then you get to the Next Generation. I think am I missing out something? Oh, the movies. There's the original movies. There's 5 of those. There's 5 original movies from the end of the animated series to the Next Generation. And then there's the Next Generation, and there's 7 seasons of that. The last 2 seasons of the Next Generation intersect with Deep Space Nine. So, and there's 7 seasons of that. Then we get Star Trek Generations, which is a Next Generation movie, and also First Contact, and that's another movie, and then we get Voyager, which is the big one that you definitely want to watch because it has my baby in it. Well, it has an Intrepid class starship. They don't ever use her to a full extent. It's really irritating. You know, they build a whole new shuttle, even though they've got a shuttle that's embedded in the underside of the fucking. I'm not going to go in. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Oh, I can talk about how they never use all of the functions of the Intrepid class starship that the series is set on. But whatever. So there's 7 seasons of that. So basically the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager all came out at around about the same time, and they all used the 24 episodes per season, 7 season model. You know, basically they had like 7 seasons of a TV show. That's usually how long something went on for. Just is. And yeah, I think Buffy was 7 seasons. Was Buffy season like 7 seasons? I just know that season 5 is my favorite of Buffy, and I think it went on for 2 more seasons. Pretty sure. Anyway, yeah, I know Angel was only 4 or 5 seasons, but yeah, yeah, I think that's it. And then we get to the movies, the post Voyager movies, and so that's Insurrection, Star Trek Insurrection, and Star Trek Nemesis. Yeah. And then you get the garbage, because Picard is garbage. Oh, you also get Section 31. I forgot that Section 31 is in there somewhere. But I think that's after. I think that's post Strange New Worlds. And it's definitely after the original series is supposed to wrap up. So yeah. But Section 31, I'm not going to bash Section 31. It's just that it's kind of its own. It became its own problem. Section 31 was supposed to be a series, but they made it into a movie, but they kept the structure of a series. So it's split into chapters, and sometimes the chapters apparently appear on screen. You know, it's like chapter 4, like the something station or whatever, and it's like, just make it a fucking series. I mean, how hard would it have been? Really, how hard? Ugh. So yeah, I don't know if you want to add all of that up, but that's how big Star Trek is. It's been going since the 60s. Oh, I almost forgot. If you want to play with it a little bit, play with the timeline a little bit, then after Voyager, you've also got Star Trek Prodigy, which is it was made for tweens. You know, it's made for kids, teens, and adults. So it's aimed at a younger audience, but it still is Star Trek. It's got a very good Star Trek feel, and yes, there are huge engineering problems with this show. I hate it. I hate it. I hate the problems that are in that show, but at least it's trying. Like, you can tell that people gave a crap when they made this. I mean, it literally has one problem. It literally has one problem for me. It's one problem. The problem is the series is named after it. So, it's a big one. It's a big problem. It's annoying. So yeah, I think that's only 2 or 3 seasons. I think it's only 2 seasons. We've also got Star Trek Lower Decks, which is the cartoon that you really should watch all of the other series, or at least one of the other series, before you actually watch the cartoon, because Star Trek Lower Decks is fun. I think it's set right after the movie Generations. I think it's set after the movie Generations. It's kind of set. It's set after Voyager. It's definitely set after Voyager. That's what I should have said. It's set after Voyager. They do not skimp on the animation in that. However, because it's a modern series, it's only got like what, 7, 8, 9 episodes per season, and it really deserves a full season, of actual, yeah. It deserves a lot more than what it got, because it is actually not bad. There's like that again. Every single series has at least one problem. I've already gone over why the problems I have with Lower Decks, and it's a small one. It's actually a very small problem, and the problem I have is the corridor in the Lower Decks. The lower deckers, anybody that's an ensign or below, is they sleep in a corridor. They sleep in bunks that are on the lining the walls of a corridor. No, no, no. It's a big no, but it's not as big as all of the other no-nos from all of the other series that I've just listed. I would say that Voyager is the one with the least no-nos. Voyager is the least scientifically problematic one. And the problems I have with Voyager are simply that they don't use Voyager enough. The ship itself is way more versatile than they give it credit for. And there are actual reasons why this might be the case. So I'm way more forgiving of Voyager than anything else, because like I said, there's reasons that they don't use the auxiliary warp core. There's an episode where they have to eject the warp core, the main primary power source of this whole ship. They have to eject it. And they say that they're fucked without it. They have a backup. The Intrepid-class starship has redundancies for everything. It's on the main display. That big diagram of the ship behind the captain on the bridge, you can see it on that. The secondary warp core, you can see it. It's right there. They never use it. They say that they're fucked without it. They emphasize. They have a whole episode about how they're fucked without the warp core and stuff. And it's like, just use the secondary one. Just use that one. Use that one right there. That one. But they never use it. And I wish that they just, in universe, there's a reason why they don't use it. It's broken. They can't repair it. It's broken. there's a good reason why they can't repair it. And if you've seen Voyager, you understand this reason for why they can't repair that thing. And I get that. That would be a good excuse. That's an excellent excuse. It's broken. We've already used it. This is the backup power core that we're using. All of those reasons are awesome, great reasons. But they don't ever say them. In the episode, they never say any of that shit. It pisses me off so much. Panda folks, it's a bit of a spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler. But Voyager is special. Voyager series is special because in the first episode, so not really spoilers, the ship gets transported to the other side of the known universe, of the mapped out known universe, and it will take them 70 years at high warp to get them back to Earth, back to Federation territory. It will take them 70 years. That's why they can't repair the warp core, because they need to actually go to a starbase to actually repair the warp core. The act of actually transporting the ship that greater distance was done by an alien. An alien used a giant tractor beam or something to basically pull the ship all the way across the galaxy, essentially. And when he did that, a bunch of stress was put on the ship. Half of the crew got killed during this transportation process, and a bunch of the systems got destroyed during this process. So, yeah. The only problem with this is that they never actually say this. So, all of the cool shit that Voyager can do, that an Intrepid class vessel can do, they never show it doing. And they never say that because of the damage from this alien vessel, we can't do this. They never say that. They just say, well, we don't have a backup warp core. And it's like, ugh. Because? Just say it. Just say it. Just fucking say it. They never say it. Oh my God. The point is that they're so far away that they are basically trying to live off everything that the ship has when it flew all that way. They have to improvise with ships, with technology and with resources that they find on the way back to Federation space. That's their whole thing. That's Voyager's whole thing. So yeah, that's why you can't repair Voyager, although they do seem to do a pretty good job every week. That's one of people's main complaints about Voyager, is that it seems to reset. The ship seems to reset no matter what damage you do to it. By the next episode, it seems to be just flying around fine, and that's okay. In my opinion, that's okay. I'm okay with that. I know, but that's only because I know the repair capabilities of the ship. It's literally, it's called an Intrepid class starship. That's the name of the class of that ship. If it was the Enterprise, Picard's ship, if it was the giant Galaxy class ship, they'd be fucked. Then you would have to deal with the constant repairs and the constant restocking of supplies and all of this stuff. But the whole reason why the Intrepid class ship was chosen for this series is because it's the most capable ship to survive. She's the fastest ship. She's literally a long-range science vessel, as opposed to a fuck-off giant cruiser like all of the other ships in Starfleet for some reason. She's got so many redundancies that they never explain why they get broken. But she's got so many redundancies that she can basically run forever. She's beautifully designed. There's a reason why she's my favorite. So yeah, it's people complain that she gets reset pretty quickly every episode, but that's because she's designed to get repaired super quickly. She's designed to run on minimum, minimum supplies. She's designed to basically like travel this far. She's she's perfect for this series. Like I said, if it was the Galaxy class, it would take twice as long, and it would mainly be because like not because the ship is slower, but because she would have to stop all the fucking time for repairs and resupplies, and oh my god. Like, it's doable. It's just that it would be super fucked. Plus, the other thing that's super great about Voyager is also that she can fly in an atmosphere, which used to be a trait that she could only do. It's like her and maybe the really tiny scout vessels can do. Like a Nova class or something. I know you don't know what a Nova class is, but it's basically an even smaller version of an Enterprise of a Constitution class ship. It's basically like the modern tiny version of a Constitution class ship. Yet they pack so much into her. She's really tiny. She's only like 6 decks high or something. But yeah, she's like amazing. But yeah, Voyager, they can't repair. You can't repair a warp core. You need to buy a warp core. You need to get a warp core somehow, or you need to have one built at an actual Starfleet shipyard or something, which they don't have access to because they're so far away from. Yeah, but that's the whole hook of Voyager. That's why people should watch Voyager, is because like it's not only is it a Starfleet vessel, it's a Starfleet vessel that's far away, that just wants to get home. And it's like, yeah. Plus, it's got a couple of my favorite characters, and like I said, I don't pick favorites usually, but these are clearly the best. These are clearly the best characters. It has the best characters. It's just in my opinion, you know. Um, yeah. I mean, Janeway's just such a badass. It's so fucking cool. It's so annoying. But yeah, like I could keep going on about the Intrepid class ship. I kind of want to just do that. I kind of want to just do that. Like, okay, I know I've already said it I've even said it on stream. I've said it on stream multiple times now. But the Intrepid class starship is equipped with a captain's yacht. If you don't know what a captain's yacht is, in Starfleet terms, a captain's yacht is a secondary vessel that is part of the mothership vessel. It's usually located underneath the saucer section, the front bit of the ship. And the one that pops out of Voyager is awesome. It's basically like a souped up runabout from Deep Space Nine, which you don't know about, but it's basically a big shuttlecraft that is already souped up. But imagine that, but then super souped up. It's it's a badass. It's a badass vessel. It's awesome. I loved it. They never show it. They never show it. Again, it's probably because it's broken, but they never repair it. Instead, they build an entirely new ship, an entirely new class of shuttle called the Delta Flyer, because they're stuck in the Delta Quadrant of the galaxy. But it's called the Delta Flyer, and it's like so uncool, in my opinion, compared to that thing. That thing would have been great. They even did screen tests, but we never got to see it. Lame. Maybe when I shave my beard off, then I'm going to notice this better, but my face looks a bit pudgy. Is it just puffy, or is it actually noticeable? Anyway, yeah, they also have Class 9 shuttles or Type 9 shuttles, however you want to call that. You can notice, you see it too. I've been doing nothing but looking at my face. That sounds so narcissistic. I've been doing nothing but looking at my face when I've been doing the movie clips, the video clips, the AI video clips things. So I'm just looking at myself and I'm like noticing weird things, and it's crazy. Sometimes it completely erases my scar, like on the video clips, and it's weird seeing it back. It's like seeing it there, seeing it back, seeing it there again, and then it's not there. you know, it's like weird. Yeah, we'll see. I might actually lose the beard soon, so Ice Pup got me a braiding machine to actually try out on my beard. I know I might have already said this, just like reminding people, but Ice Pup actually for my birthday he bought me a gag gift. It was a cheap little girl hair braiding machine, but like he wanted to see my beard braided, and I wanted to see that too, kind of after I unboxed the machine. But the problem is that it doesn't work. It's a really cheap one, and its wiring has actually been wired backwards because it's electronic. You put your hair into the little holes in the machine, and it automatically like does things automatically by itself using these little rotating disc things, and it looks really cool. Like in the demonstration pictures, it looks really cool, but at the same time, it's like it's broken. It's cheap. It's yeah, it probably cost him like $5. um, and I was kind of waiting for that before I did before I got rid of the beard, but like I'm about to have a meeting and I need to be clean. I need to be clean. I need to be like beardless. I'm still keeping the mustache, I think. Like that's an actual conscious decision this time. I'm not accidentally removing the mustache like last time. Do I still have the beads? I don't know. Do you? I have the beard beads. I still have the beard beads. Um, like the last time I wore them was at my mother's wedding. So, like, they do get used still. I did try them on like a couple of months ago because a couple of months ago that's when I actually got the machine. That's when it was my birthday, and that's when I actually got that machine. And I was so frustrated with the machine that I just tried to do it myself. But my beard hair is actually too curly for that. Like I can stretch it out, I can comb it until it does actually get straight enough to actually go into like a little rubber band so that I can isolate a set of hairs and then isolate another set of hairs. But the problem is that I can't keep up with the coordination in a mirror without it taking like an hour or something, and I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience for it. I can do it. I don't have the patience for it. I got really frustrated and I just gave up. But I used the beard beads as kind of weight to kind of like hold down certain parts. You know, rubber band with a weight with one of the beads on it, and so that I can just very quickly and easily do that. And it did work, but like I said, my hair is just too fuzzy to actually get that done properly. Without the machine. So yeah. Right, I think I'm good with the nerding out, unless like somebody actually wants to talk to me about anything specific, or anything specifically Star Trek, or anything specifically sci-fi stuff, you know. I do know one of my friends is actually kind of pissing me off a little bit. One of the space buddies is pissing me off a little bit because he likes anime, and I'm okay with him liking anime. I like some anime. It's just that I don't like modern anime, and he seems to be okay with modern anime. But the problem with modern anime is that there's no real sci-fi in real modern anime anymore. You know, it's like there used to be cool, like, you know, spaceship designs and cool kind of like mech suits and defenders of giant spinning space colonies and stuff like that, and with actual real scientific ideas and stuff. And now it's all magic shit. It's more fantasy. It's science fantasy, and it's not really science. You know, it's fantasy fiction. It's all about magic and like spiritual shit, and it's like, oh my god. And yet they call it sci-fi. You know, like, so he keeps like he does talk about Star Trek, and see, he really likes Stargate. Like, he's the guy I talk to about Stargate the most. But like, oh my god, will he not shut up about like the latest episode of some stupid witch show or something? And it's like, oh, I don't care. I do not care. Plus, I can't really keep up with a lot of anime stuff nowadays. You know, it was hard enough back then looking at anime stuff, because it's like, take Tenchi Muyo for example. There's Tenchi Muyo, and then there's Tenchi, like, Tenchi Muyo Plus and Tenchi Muyo whatever, and they're all separate series, but they all have the basic idea. But it's like, you want to rewrite the series? Why? In the middle of the series? And it be canon? I don't know. Oh my god. And yet they continue with the original series, and yet have this series overlapping it, going onwards, even though they're retconning some things, and yet they're the same thing, supposed to be. What? You know? It's like that seems to be what happens a lot. You know, like, they seem to actually have like a structure the further back in time you go. You know, for example, like, I think isn't it the 90s that Pat Labor? Does anybody remember Pat Labor? Like, it's a series that's incredibly wordy and up its own butt, and it's so slow. But it makes sense, and it's got good sci-fi in it, and it makes sense. Oh my god, don't. See what I mean? It's like, yeah, they're all separate series, Panda. It's like, oh. It's so dumb. Plus, there's some anime conventions that just like continued to annoy me a lot. And like, I understand them, I get them. Some of them are very weird, why Japan? But yeah, like the whole thing about like Pokemon, for example, is that um, the whole thing about Misty and how they wanted to have the character of Misty be an older girl for the teenage boys. Like they intentionally made her like attractive for the teenage boys. Fine, that's fine. Little weird, you know. And on Western standards, completely unacceptable to basically intentionally tell everybody that you literally made this character for the young kids to fap over. What the fuck? Like, very unacceptable. In Japanese culture, completely acceptable. They do it every single series in Japan. They basically have a intentionally have a kid that is literally made to be over sexualized for the other little kids. Messed up. But the whole point about Misty in the original Pokemon series is basically like they were going to change her every single season with another girl. Um, but basically, like the fan backlash was just like annoying, and everybody loved Misty as a character, not just because she was. Yeah. Oh God, I don't even say it. It's gross. Oh, but yeah, like once I found that out, Pokemon the series became a no go for me. and I was a kid. I was a kid when I found this out. Well, I was like 15, I think, when I actually found this out. But still, I was young enough to still be acceptably watching it, and yet like old enough to understand that this is messed up. Like when I read that, because I was reading it up on like Pokemon stuff. Um, I plus I was a bit of a I really liked like Japanese stuff. You know how every teenager kind of goes through like an episode where they really like Japanese stuff and Japanese anime and Japanese art and stuff like that. Plus I was drawing stuff at the time, so I tried out drawing anime shit. Some of it worked. I watched Dragon Ball Z a lot as well. But again, that just seemed to be everybody in my generation at that point in their life that seemed to be doing that. It's like it's like a stage of life you had to go through. So yeah. But when I read that, I was like, nope. Also, a bunch of this other animes that I don't like anymore because of this. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep my Pokemon cards and play my Game Boy game, and that's it. Not think about this anymore ever. Except for just now. But yes, food animes now. See what I mean about anime just being it's either too fantasy and too interlocked with its own kind of like laws and they make it overly complicated, or it's stupid. It's straight stupid. It's just straight up stupid. Like even the comedy aspect of it has to be there, you know. But a lot of anime comedy is incredibly basic. Like my housemate, he watches a ton of anime. I can't stand it anymore. It's just in the background with all the moaning and all the giggling and all the ings like for everything, and it's like I can't do it. I can't take it anymore. I can't. I'm sorry. I just, oh my god, you know. I try my absolute best to just tune it out and just focus on whatever I'm watching, because oh my god, food animes. It, I don't think they have a preference. There was this one anime, and again, I just like it's in the corner of my eye, you know. Like I said, I'm working on it. I'm working on something in the kitchen, and because the TV is right there, it's like it'll be on, and every now and again I have to look, or I have to ask like him if he wants food or whatever. Um, and there was this one anime that really got on my tits, and it was because it had this kind of like almost a lens flare filter in every scene. Everything seemed to be slightly oversaturated, overexposed, and have this kind of like lens filter. Like there was this light that was continuously bursting from a corner, and it just, I was so perplexed because it was the animation on it, like the line work and everything. It didn't look that bad. Normally, you do something like this to kind of disguise something, and I couldn't understand what they were trying to hide. But it was like I I think I even asked them. I think I even asked them. It's like, is this whole episode in some kind of like dream, or like in another world or dimension or something? And he's like, no, it's in a park. Uh, the fuck? I pointed this out to him, and I was like, does this not piss you off? He's like, I don't really notice it. I'm just watching it for the story. And I'm like, what story? Oh my god, it's so dumb. It's just so dumb. I thought I caught like a spot or something in my hair. Oh yeah, there it is. I nearly scratched that, and it nearly fucking killed me. Ooh, whatever. Right. Any Anybody got any topics that they want to talk about or ask me about? Now is the time. Some are stupid. A lot of them are stupid. Even the ones I watched sometimes were stupid. But at least they kind of like they had a I was going to say they had a point, but like they are pointless sometimes on purpose. You know, there was there was good moments in them. There was really good like, or there's a good style, or there's good animation, or there's good music. You know, for example, I've got um, Full Metal Alchemist is playing in my head right now. So yeah, I also don't get the terminology. You know, I understand what it like. It's based on Japanese words, but yeah. I think it's brotherhood. I think. It's not working because the phone's broken. I'm trying to find the. I just want the one opening. I feel like you helped me with this before, but there's like one really good. Um, there's one really good. Nope, very much not. I can't because I don't remember any of the Japanese words. It's that one. It's probably going to get copyright strike, so it's probably going to shut down my stream. Yeah, I have no chance of memorizing any of that. So, like, yeah. If you heard any of that, then yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. But yeah, when I was thinking, well, what you triggered that basically to play in my head. So yeah, thanks. Like, see, that is kind of intriguing. You know, it's like alchemy is an ancient science. Alchemy is actually kind of like the there is some science behind this, the transfiguration of materials and like turning like certain energies and materials into different forms of matter based on regular matter, and how it's depicted in that is fascinating and terrifying at least twice. But still, it's like, yeah, like that isn't as silly. It has definitely got dumb moments, but there's a lot of that, of what's in there, that's pretty good. But that's it. It's like that's the transitional like phase between modern AI, modern anime, and what was before. I think I went through the different phases of anime like on stream. I do remember doing that. You had the golden age where you had like stuff in the 80s that was hard science fiction. Your Macrosses, the start of the Gundam series is, basically like lots and lots and lots of hard science fiction stuff where like there's a bunch of people on spaceships and they're like they've got complex political shit to deal with and stuff, as well as fighting just monsters and kaiju and stuff. It's like there's all that cool stuff. And then you had the Silver Age, of which you had your Dragon Ball Z and stuff, which still had science fiction like topics in it, but you basically had added a more spiritual level to it. You basically had gods and like you got the Kames in there, and oh my god. Oh, I got a notification. Ugh. And then you got superpowers and stuff. It's like, wow. um, but you also had you still had like the hard science fiction stuff, like Generator Goal, yeah, and oh my god, well, Tanchi Muyo and stuff like that. That's very science fiction. That's incredibly good science fiction, like growing live spaceships. It's amazing. It's amazing. We wouldn't see shit like that until the TARDIS in Doctor Who, the modern TARDIS in Doctor Who. It's like things like this that was like it's just a really good concept, really good hard sci-fi. Still, it's the Silver Age, and then you had you had your anime Renaissance age, where it was like a bunch of different topics. They kind of branched out into more kind of like slice of life kind of stuff, like an angel and a demon kind of living together, that kind of stuff. You had more like down to earth kind of shit with huge supernatural elements and things, like the guy that was the devil or god or something, and he had to live as a teenage boy working at a burger bar or something in Tokyo. Yeah, things like that. It's like it's kind of like also where your Pokemon and stuff is. And then you had the second Renaissance, which is the part that's leading up to where we are, where you had Full Metal Alchemist and things like that. And in my opinion, that's when it started to decline, because you had, now we've got a lot of just silly stuff that isn't just in the comedy side. They're taking it incredibly seriously, you know, because you had silly stuff in the past, like the one that everybody was talking about, like just last year and the year before that. Oh my god, with the super stretchy man. It's not Bleach. Stop it. That was part of the Silver Age. Oh my god. With the pirate ship and the super stretchy man with the straw hat. It's because they don't have, sometimes they don't have names that connect any way to, you know, what you immediately remember about the fucking show. One Piece, thank you. God fucking damn it. You know when Aaron rage quits in the famous Game Grumps animated compilation thing, the whole God fucking damn it, you know, I'll kill you, I'll kill your whole family. Just that whole rant and stuff like that. My brain does like a thing like that whenever it's really obvious what the name is of something, and yet I can't remember it. Oh my god. But yeah, anyway, yeah, there's like the One Piece stuff, like that. All of that stuff was silly. You know, it had serious moments, but it's mostly silly. It's mostly dumb. It's mostly done for comedic effect. You know, but it's, yeah. But now they take things way too seriously when they shouldn't, and the comedic stuff does seem to be watered down teenage awkwardness. All of it seems to be just watered down teenage awkwardness, even amongst the adults, even amongst the full grown adults. Yes, there was elements of that in the past, in the Silver Age and in the Renaissance periods, but oh my god, is it nothing but that now? There's none of these smarter jokes, the more funny setups to anything. It just seems to be all just nothing but teenage awkwardness and horniness. And it's just, I just want it to fuck off. I just want that to fuck off and bring back the giant orbital habitats with the giant fighting mechs and the really cool spaceships and the big space battles that had real stakes and stuff like that. Bring back my Star Trek anime. But no, they never will, because it's just not popular, because that would actually require you to like empathize with like the hundreds and thousands of people that are on those ships that either get sucked into space or get their faces melted by radiation, or just get boiled alive, you know. But yeah, nope. That's one of the things. There used to be like real gore as well in anime. Like they're very, very tamer now. Way tamer now. My god. Did you like Dragon Ball? I already said I do like Dragon Ball. I do like Dragon Ball. I don't so much like the weird mystical stuff and the whole thing where like the increasing power levels eventually do become dumb, but it's like to the point where I haven't watched the latest series, you know. Like basically I got to Super Saiyan Man and that was it. I was like I'm over this. You know, it's like it's just that Gohan is, spoilers. Gohan is discovered to be the most powerful being in existence. And I was like, yes, oh my god, finally some that that paid off. That paid off from day fucking one. Thank you. From Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball, because he didn't exist then. But still, it's like day one, that paid off. Thank you. I'm okay with that. That story is over for me. Anything, like the stories after that, they don't seem to build up on anything. From what I understand, the Dragon Ball Super is just another kind of like it's an endless tournament of like somebody fighting another somebody that's stronger than somebody, and seeing how they will eventually overcome that. But yeah, it's like that's so dumb, you know. Even Dragon Ball Z had annoying elements to it. For example, the whole thing about the mini movies or some sagas that line up but don't quite meet properly because they're connected to movies that are correct, but only because it's convenient to this story that certain people be in certain places at certain times, even though it's been established in the bigger story outside of the movie that they aren't in those places. They are, in fact, dead or something, you know? You know? So yeah, Dragon Ball I like, but there are aspects to it that are just annoying as fuck. Um, yeah, I did enjoy. I did enjoy the apart from not the they didn't do it over the top. It did become it did start to get irritating, but there's only like 4 or 5 weed jokes in the whole thing. But I did enjoy a lot the retelling. Dragon Ball Z remastered, Dragon Ball Z, not in a nutshell. Why am I missing words? Just certain words. Not reloaded. Fuck off. Reloaded. Abridged. Abridged. Dragon Ball Abridged is the best. Is so good. It's like, yeah, it's so good. It's yeah. I mean, some of the early stuff is kind of obvious and stupid funny, but like it does actually build. You know, it's like I'm just replaying parts of it in my head right now, and it's like the whole "what about Yamcha" thing is just it's still got me to laugh. You know, my name is Dende. All of that stuff is just so. Oh my god, it's just gold. It's just gold. There's certain parts of it that I'm just like, yes, thank you. So I've always thought this, but you're the one that brought it to life. Thank you so much, Dragon Ball Z Abridged, for this moment. This is funny because I was always thinking, you know. Oh my god, the whole thing about Vegeta being so easily manipulated, and he knows it, but he's okay with it. Just Vegeta's whole character is just so fun. You know. I don't know why. I just related so much to Vegeta. Have you seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged? You seen Dragon Ball Abridged? It's really well done. Yeah, it's oh. My name is Dead Day. Sensory. Yeah, all of it is really good. It's just I'm trying to think of a joke that didn't work, and yeah. Oh my god, even Gohan's the whole thing. I still watch for the because they nailed the emotional resonance of the whole bit really well. The whole bit of, again, spoilers, of Gohan actually going Super Saiyan 2 or 3. Is it I think it's 3, the whole like going Super Saiyan. It's Super Saiyan, and then Super Saiyan 2 is the more super muscly version, but Super Saiyan 3 is the kind of like more efficient energy usage version of Super Saiyans, I think, right? Or am I getting 2 and 3 mixed up? I might be getting 2 and 3 mixed up. Doesn't matter. But yeah, when he finally basically gets there, and is that whole bit is like it's like it's really well done compared to how it was in the actual original, and yeah. Oh, and the whole thing about when Cell is constructing the battlefield, and how he can't get that one tile right, is pretty funny, in my opinion. Leave it alone. It's not there. It's not there. It's there. It's annoying me. Fuck it. And then he just blows the whole thing up. He starts again, and it's broken again. It's like relatable. It's very relatable. It doesn't bother me. It's not bothering me. It's bothering me. Oh. And then the whole red flag thing. I just want to watch it now again. I have other things I need to watch before. I've just been through like a period of watching a bunch of TV shows and things that I've missed in the past. So like I normally do that until my YouTube playlist kind of like gets down to the last 100, and then I watch a bunch of TV, like actual TV, and then I go back to YouTube. So yeah. But I watched a bunch of TV already. I tried watching The Bionic Woman. I was just like, what did I watch that was like that I really wanted to keep going with, but it just is too 70s. It was just too 70s and slow paced, and I couldn't deal with it. And it was a Bionic Woman. I tried watching the Bionic Woman. It was like, oh my god, this is really boring, and I hate it. I don't want to watch it anymore. It's actually making me dislike the franchise because I I read the synopsis, um, basically the pictureless comic books. You know, the dramatization, the omnibus, or whatever you want to call it. The what's it called? I read the book, the Bionic Woman book, like when I was like in hospital. So I read that. That was one of the things that I read from the library cart that went around the hospital. And it was good. It was good. It was actually really good. Like the story was actually pretty good. Like the stories in there were pretty good. You know. So I was like, "Ooh, this is really cool." But I realized that when I was watching the show, not only was it incredibly slow paced and not as cool as what it was in my head, but also I started to like piece together and remember this, you know, the ending of a lot of the stories, and I was like, oh, you know, well, if it's not as cool as how it was in my brain, then I'm going to stop watching if the next episode isn't a good one. And the next episode was about a giant lion, and I was done. About a giant lion and how animals are friends, and not all of them are scary big monsters. And it's like, oh, gee. My hair's doing this big poofy thing. I'm not that tired. I've just actually been talking for a long time. So yeah. But yeah, I watched that. Oh, I watched all of um the Arrowverse. The Arrowverses. Well, I tried watching all of Supergirl. I couldn't watch all of Supergirl. I was like, what else did I watch that took forever to finish? But that's one of the reasons why I stopped watching it, because it was like I watched I've already seen the Arrow, you know, um and the Flash. Like I already saw the first two seasons of the Flash, and I watched all of the Flash. Realized that I wanted to watch some of Supergirl, and halfway through Supergirl, I realized that, oh, the reason why I watched all of the Flash was because I kind of wanted to get to the point where I can just watch Supergirl. But I watched all of the Flash now, and it was stupid and boring, and I hated that. My God, um, I forced myself to watch something so much that it just became meaningless because everything was kind of the same every time on the Flash, and that's really annoying because the first couple of seasons of that I really enjoyed those, but like I said, it became very predictable. It became very emotional, and ugh. Supergirl was actually pretty good. Like the first couple of seasons of Supergirl, pretty good. After that, it got weird, and then after that, it got annoying, and then after that, it got just stupid. Because of magic. Because they kept putting magic everywhere. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Like Supergirl. It's like magic is one of the weaknesses for Kryptonians. But they changed key parts of Supergirl, of the whole Superman mythology. And that pissed me off. Because they kind of established that Supergirl can't breathe in space, and it's like, yes, she can. Well, neither can Superman. They don't breathe in space. That's not how they work. Did they watch Superman? Did they read any of the comics? Did they do anything? Do they not get how their powers work? And yet they show her using her freeze breath and her hyper compressor lungs and all of this stuff. And it's like, and also like flying and swimming underwater as well. They're like, she can't breathe underwater. It's like, well, no one can, and she won't. But the whole reason they can do the ice breath thing and the super breath thing is because they have compressors for lungs. They can hold their breath indefinitely, and they're not affected by the vacuum of space. Like, that's the whole point. Yeah. Anyway, that aside, it became stupid. The whole thing became stupid, and it became incredibly preachy. And it was just like, I'm done. This is so uncool. Not cool at all. Right. Anything else anybody want to talk about before I leave? Which is your most updated social media? Do you mean that I post updates on how I'm doing and stuff? I know I don't do that. I don't do that. I post about 4 pictures a day to everything, to Instagram. Um, I think it automatically goes to Facebook as well. Tumblr, Patreon, Discord. I don't know what else do I have that set to. Oh, the Roku apps as well. I can't ever get it to work with X. It doesn't want to log in. It keeps wanting me to log into to Twitter, and it just won't let me. But like that's the most updated you're gonna get from me is basically a mostly 1 year old picture, 1.5 years old picture, because I've still got a backlog of pictures to upload. I just trickle them down. Fortunately, I think there's still like 700 in the bank. I don't know why I'm looking. It's not like it's permanently written on the device. But yeah. Next question. Anybody else got anything they want to ask me or say to me before I go? Yes, without the beard, it still looks pretty good. I have a mustache now. Next question. These ones are pretty easy. Okay. Right. I'm going to stand up and walk around it for a little bit because I do not like sitting for long periods of time. And then I'm probably going to come back and play on my computer for a little bit. Make some more nonsense. Like the AI vid clips of that beer ad is pretty funny to me. Like I had a real good time making that. I thought it was pretty fun. I don't know. YouTube doesn't like my videos recently, semi-recently, so I don't really make videos for YouTube. I am basically thinking about switching hosts, and only doing live streams on YouTube from now on. Mainly because like YouTube seems to like to delete or just straight up doesn't want to accept any of my videos anymore. So yay. Okay. I do not know when I'll be doing another live stream. I am potentially busy the next couple of days. Is Thanksgiving this week? This Thursday, like this week? If it is, then I've got a bad feeling that I'm not going to see I'm not going to see my best friend because he is going to be doing Thanksgiving and he will leave me on my own because he's a jerk. But yeah, I think that's the next time I'm scheduled to have a live stream. Oh my god. You're gonna have to you really want me to just say his name. Itchy, okay? Itchy. Itchy said that he was gonna come back on Thursday and watch Star Trek with me. Because that's what we've been doing. We've been watching Star Trek because he has never seen Star Trek all the way through. He's only seen 1 or 2 episodes. But he wants to watch it with me from the beginning. So we've been watching Enterprise and it's been a lot of fun, but he's been really busy last week. And we would normally watch it on Thursdays. But I think he's forgotten that this Thursday, when he said that he wanted to do a double barrel, like a bunch of episodes back to back, it's Thanksgiving, right? So yeah, shows you how thankful he is for his dad. But whatever. Right. I am leaving. So absolutely last chance for anybody to sneak in a question before I go. But I am at least, in the very least, standing up and showing you my very, very slightly bigger tummy, because I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, back stretch, belly rubs, and belly salute. I think it is slightly bigger on account of, not only has Damon said that he thinks it's slightly bigger, but also it keeps bumping into the countertop when I'm in the kitchen, which is annoying. But yeah, anyway. I'm off. Okay. I'm going to hit the button. Bye.